Players love abusing Darkvision. Now's your chance to abuse them back. From the beginning of D&D, parts of the game has been Darkvision. Now, back in the day, you had to be an elf, or I believe halflings also had Darkvision, and you were a special race. It wasn't a class. But now, in modern D&D, any race can be any class. So what most people do is they try to game the system. Most people will pick some kind of race that has Darkvision so they can save a few copper on torches and a nice tinderbox. But no, don't let them do it. Let's take a look at what the book actually says. Chapter 7 of the Player's Handbook. If a character has advantage on the check, add 5. For disadvantage, subtract 5. Now we'll come back to that for a second. If we look at Chapter 8 of the Player's Handbook, it defines Darkvision as: many creatures in fantasy gaming worlds, especially those that dwell underground, have Darkvision. Within a specified range, a creature with Darkvision can see in darkness as if the darkness were dim light. So areas of darkness are only lightly obscured as far as that creature is concerned. However, the creature can't discern color in darkness, only shades of gray. And later on it says, a given area might be lightly or heavily obscured. A lightly obscured area such as dim light, patchy fog, or moderate foliage. Creatures have disadvantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on sight. So that, combined with the passage in Chapter 7, means that a character with Darkvision has a -5 to passive perception checks while inside dark areas. Another thing that it says is that relies on sight. So it's dark at night, but at night there's still sunlight around. That's very different from the absolute darkness of a cave. So feel free to say, sure, go on into that cave without any sort of torch or anything. And after your characters get to a certain area, have them get attacked and they're in total darkness. And now, they're in big trouble. But in most areas, with a -5 to perception, it's really easy for someone to miss obvious traps. So for example, you could have a spike pit. You could have a spike pit that's covered lightly by leaves, which frankly wouldn't stand out with a -5 to your perception. Now, choosing to have light or not have light. Now, this rule works the same way for monsters as well. So if you're up against an enemy with Darkvision, they're just as likely to miss a stealthy rogue if they don't have lights of their own. Will they miss it? Only creatures with blind sight, or blind sense rather, really don't need to worry. I guess you could add tremor sense to that as well if everybody's on the ground. Choosing to light things up is really something that you can choose to enhance or detract from your game. Another great way to punish your players for not having torches is by giving them some sort of a colored challenge. So for example, if you're in a tunnel and they have a map and it says, take the tunnel marked in red. If you have Darkvision, you can't see color underground. It could be that you're there to meet up with some enemies and they'll say, hey, all of your friends are wearing red shirts. All of the enemies are wearing blue shirts. And you get to the area, everybody's wearing exactly the same style shirt. How are you going to know which one's which? Well, you better light up that torch. Maybe there's some writing on the wall that's in a couple different colors, and you know you have to follow one or the other. Well, if you light up that torch and you just snuck by a patrol, maybe the patrol's going to notice that torch now. I'm not saying you should be a jerk, totally screw with your party, but somewhat screwing with them is a lot of fun. What do you think? Is Darkvision abused, overused, or screw it? It's like free parking in Monopoly. We're just going to give everybody the money in the middle. So if you like this quick video, give it a thumbs up.